Hello and welcome to High and Inside, everybody. I'm Scott Belford. Very excited to be joined by a longtime guest of the show, comedian based out of Edmonton, Sean Lecomber. Welcome to the show, buddy. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, great to be here. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, last time we talked, we were basically writing this team off. I mean, the Blue Jays. Here's a bunch of things to say that the Blue Jays have sort of turned this season around. In the last 12 games following a loss, they're 12-0, and they have a plus 29 run differential with a 1.82 ERA. They have faced the Red Sox, the Yankees twice, and the Rays in the last 13 days. They're 8-4 in that. Could take the series here today against the Yankees. I know a bunch of you are probably watching after the game, but you're just going to have to deal with it. So the Jays are back. They're 64 and 67. They're half a game back of that third and final wild card spot. The Guardians and the Rangers hold it right now, which is a hilarious situation in this American League where two teams that are two games under 500 hold the wild card, and the Jays are right there, 3 games under 500. But they really have played so much better. At the trade deadline, they were 10 games under 500. They were 5.5 games back. It's been kind of
Yeah.
exciting to watch this happen. We don't have to give up on baseball yet, Sean.
No, I mean, yeah, parody. It's nice when parody kicks in. I mean, everybody talks about how, the American League sucks, but I mean, it's really just parody. It's just like it's not like there's not many teams that are dominant, right? That's all.
Hmm.
It's just like I don't even know if there's any, because even the Rays have fallen off a little bit, and then the
Yeah.
two AL Central and AL West, I mean, they're barely over 500 or at 500 and leading their divisions. Like, I don't know if there's the Yankees, they have an amazing pitching staff, but I don't even know if any of their bats come back.
That is the big question mark over the Yankees because the Yankees might be the best team in this league, but I mean, they're sure not with Stanton and Judge and Bellinger on the IL.
No, and Judge is, I mean, half of the postseasons I've seen him play, and he's ice cold and getting booed by Yankee fans.
They
So
do
like
love.
I don't even try, even if he comes back October 1st, I don't believe he's gonna come back red hot. Stanton, yeah, Stanton, forget it. Bellinger, that'll help, but so everybody's kind of beatable,
Yeah.
right? You're not like it's not like, oh, we're gonna sneak into the third wild card spot and then get our heads caved in by XYZ. Like I don't even see that.
No, it's true. If the Blue Jays manage to grab this third wild card, they truly could wind up in the ALCS again. Like it's not that
Yeah.
insane, especially when you look at what their pitching has done over the last like 3 weeks. I mean, Shane Bieber has been insane. Like, I did not expect him to, especially after he had that kind of blip start right before the deadline, and everyone was like, he walked like 7 guys in the first inning. I think he set like a record for the Jays, most walks in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And since then, he's literally been completely and totally insane.
And
Like,
had he been good in that game, he may have been dealt.
probably would have. In the
Yeah.
last 24 innings, he's got a 2.96 ERA and is 3-0. And again, I think had the front office been able to get anything of value for him, they would have done it.
Or maybe I don't, it's hard, it's so hard to
But
know,
maybe
right? Like
not. Maybe that
maybe
was,
not, maybe
yeah.
they were like, no, 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 no. We knew we were going to get rid of Gosman. We knew we were going to get rid of Hoffman. We like, who knows, right? Like
Yeah.
we don't really have a clue because there's some spots where you're like, they probably should have gotten rid of that guy. Like, and then Bateman comes in and is insane. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't even make sense. Like, here comes this person that we've never heard of, and he's what we wanted Varsho to be forever.
Yeah.
It's like this
Yeah.
is exactly what we hoped Varsho could become. And obviously he's not going to stay this hot, but it's like this is exactly what we always because it's so funny how when Varsho came to this team, it was like, I don't care if the guy never gets a hit. Just give me some defense out there.
Yeah.
And then you get elite defense in the outfield, and at some point, because the offense is so bad, you're like, I don't give a shit how many he runs down. Give me a hit, like
Yeah.
do something. Yeah. So you're just like, you're like, come on, give me something. And it's just been a crazy season, a
It
totally
is
insane season.
it's insane that this team has I mean, they're 15-8 since July 29th. And
Hmm.
they've done it without any offense. Like the offense still stinks, Sean. Like it's
Yeah.
still not a very good offense. Like
No.
outside of Alejandro Kirk, who has kind of like literally put this entire team on his back and has become like the hitter in the middle of the order, no one else is really getting it done. I mean, they're getting
It is.
hits here and there. We've seen it over the last 2 weeks where it's just like, how many times has there been, and 2 weeks is probably this has been the problem all year. But how many times have we seen a runner on second and third with like one out, and then it's just like, no, no runs
Oh,
scored.
away you go. Yeah, you've got absolutely zero slug other than Kirk. And but Mac, you have your two of your three most important hitters right now are Bateman and McAdoo.
Yeah, which
Like
is
those are the two
wild.
of the three most important hitters on your team. Like wherever you put McAdoo, Bateman, th those they're two of the three most important hitters in the, which is insane. Like Vladdy needs, Vladdy's like, okay, you're talking about, okay, we need to maybe move Vladdy farther down. You can't let him have that kind of a negative impact. I mean, and if the Jays stay in this thing till the very end, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. it almost makes his season worse for him personally, right?
Yeah.
It almost takes it down to Kyle Tuckerville, where like, everybody in the world knows that all we're missing is a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. playing to the numbers that he demanded.
Yes.
He demanded that money. So like, I don't have any sympathy for these players when it's like, well, I don't know, like it's tough for these guys to live up to that contract. It wasn't like, oh, my agent did this and I just sit over here and I don't need, barely I don't I need translators for all English interactions. That's not what happened.
No.
He was like, I know my value. I know what I'm worth. I demand this or I'm leaving. And you got it, you got the bag, and then here you are, like Johnny hamstring, Johnny back hurts, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you don't do
Wasting,
that.
wasting away in Kyle Tuckerville. It's
Yeah,
a hit I'm
and
not
the thing
into.
about the thing about Tuckerville too is at least Tucker's not making any excuses. He's not talking about like, a wonky hamstring or wonky back. Vladdy's always like had no problem living in that universe of
Yeah.
blaming seasons on injuries and tweaks and like he's just played he's just been an offensive just black hole. And to the idea that you could make the playoffs with your most important player having this bad of a season is just crazy.
Obviously it's between his ears. I mean, there's no one slumps this badly for this long without it being a little bit I don't really think it's like a mechanics issue. Like obviously mechanics and all of this is playing into it, but I really do think that it's like this massive mental block. So, do you
Mhm.
think that if they do wind up getting into the playoffs, and everyone talks about how Vladdy's such a big time guy in big moments, and we saw it in the playoffs, we saw it in the World Baseball Classic in the spring. Do you have any confidence that he can turn this around in 2026, even if they do make the playoffs? Like, do you think that he has it in him, or do you think that this year's almost a write off for him at this point, and he's going to have to like go back to the drawing board?
Boy, yeah, that's a really tough one because I think it's
Like we want to
hitting.
believe, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but I
yeah,
think I think hitting in baseball is a lot like being a goalie in hockey. It is, it's so much. It's a reaction position. You can't save harder. You can't hit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You theoretically hit harder, but it does nothing. You're reacting. You can't just like as in any other in most other sports, you can go and like just run faster in soccer. You can tackle harder. You can grind. In baseball, it's just like, hey, you react to this guy's pitch, and you're either kind of having a good year and feeling like you can see, like, he's seeing it out of his hand. Like with Vladdy, like when he's good, he's seeing it right out of the hand. As soon as it's out of the hand, he knows, oh, it's off speed. It's going to start in the zone. It's going to go low. I'm not going to wave at it. But he doesn't know right now. He has no
yeah,
idea. It's halfway to the plate, and he's making his decision, and it's a bad swing decision. And it's the same thing as goaltending, where it's like if things are going well, they just feel like nothing's getting past me.
yeah,
And if not feeling good, they get down into a weird butterfly and just hope and pray, like, please God hit me, because
yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing in here anymore.
Yeah.
And it usually lasts the whole year. It's usually the whole year. If a goaltender is having a bad year, it's the whole year. They don't just pick it up in the final 10 games. And it's the same thing with hitters. They generally don't like find it this late.
Not with this kind of slump. Like obviously baseball is very
Yeah.
boom bust orientated, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
honestly
to have zero slug all year,
zero
zero
slug.
slug all year, like
Like I
zero.
just I just did not see this coming. Even when he was way off in May and June, I was like, he's gonna figure it out. But here we are, like approaching end of August, and it's like maybe he's not gonna figure this out.
No. And if he was going to figure it out, it would be against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium where he likes to produce and he's had a week off, to kind of just rest whatever's ailing him or whatever. So if he was going to be hot, it would be right now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
against where he normally does it is like against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium where he's being booed. Like that's where he's got his slug shoes on. But I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I mean, Kirk makes sense, right? He was injured. He came
yeah.
back. He wasn't fully healthy. He becomes fully healthy.
And he
Um,
he figures it out, and he goes right back to what we saw last year.
yeah, which is just sort of like I'm gonna slash it the other way, and then once in a while I'm gonna cheat and guess and hit one out of the park.
Yeah,
So the fact that you haven't been Vladdy, like even when he's like, forget it, I'm gonna cheat and guess on this one. I think he's gonna throw me a fastball over the inner third, and I'm just going to sell out and completely guess that that's where the ball's going and hit one out of here. And he has zero. So for him to go into cheat mode, guess mode, and try to hit a home run and never be able to hit a home run, like really all season.
hmm
Um, and then you see like, you look at the statistics and you're like, Okamoto is looks like he's lapping the field,
yeah.
but most of the time he's a pretty easy out. Like he's got a lot of holes in his swing, but he's still producing at a reasonable level.
He is, and it is his rookie season. It's funny. I saw a stat here where this is home runs by rookie. So the Chicago White Sox have 54. The Blue Jays are second in baseball with 42, which I mean, obviously, Murakami is the main reason for the White Sox leading the way here, but also, who would have seen this as like the Blue Jays' strength in comparison? I mean, Okamoto
Yeah,
has the most home runs on this team, and it's not even
not even
close.
close. Yeah, it's
Like,
like
he,
26 to 12, I think.
yeah,
Like
I think
Springer
he's
has 12,
doubling Springer, who's next up on this, and
and then
like,
nobody has over 10 under Springer,
nobody. Like
like
we don't have double digits
7 or 8.
outside of Springer and yeah, Kaz. And then
So
really
you're,
on the back of what is blowing my mind here, Sean, with this like resurgence from the Jays is they're doing it in the hardest way possible. Like they're
oh
literally
yeah,
doing it on the back of defense, which was horrible up until recently, and now they're turning into the best defensive team in baseball again, which is where they kind of sat last year. And the pitching has
yeah,
been both starting and bullpen has been crazy good. And so like they're winning these
yeah,
like 3-2 games with an outfield of Miles Straw, Bateman, and Lucas,
yeah.
and you're like, this is fucked.
And I
Like,
mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the eye test is wrong for me, but I always felt like, yeah, I mean, their defense is okay. It's just anytime you make a mistake and you can't hit, it's like this is devastating.
yes.
That's a devastating, like Ernie has to make that play. And it's like, I mean, they should be able to hit their way out of that. It's
Yeah.
just a guy is on first who shouldn't have been. It shouldn't be the end of the world, but for this team, it was. And then the other part of the defense was like the guys who are making the plays, like Varsho, you're like, well, you have to make that, like hitting like you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better make that play. So you're never like, Varsho with another one. Yeah, what a play. You're like, he has to make that play. He's such a bad hitter that like when you would see Varsho not run through the wall, you're like, no, you need to run through the wall. Like you need to take your body into that wall because you can't hit. So if you don't have that tool, you need to catch fucking like everything out there. You have to catch it all. And then all of a sudden we brought in some guys that were hitting, and now you can appreciate the defense again. You're like, hey, Bateman, that's a nice play out there,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Whoa.
Because he's grinding
McAdoo
out a
can,
few singles. Yeah.
and then you're like, hey, McAdoo can play second base. Look at this. Like McAdoo's not, it's his third position and he's not struggling,
Yeah.
making the right reads. You're like, oh, this guy has like a good, I mean, especially defensively in baseball, I find guys either have it or they don't. They either have the IQ,
Hmm.
they either kind of have that IQ of like, that baseball IQ of like it comes to me and you could see with McAdoo, like he's not rushing to get the double play. He knows the ball came to him slowly enough that there's no chance of a double play. So let me just make sure we get the out at second. Like you see little things from him where you're like, oh, he could play in the infield for a while.
I mean,
But yeah.
Jesus Sanchez has a nice smile, but oh my goodness. No
No,
baseball IQ in that head.
no.
Oh my goodness.
And
It
then
is
you
a
should,
nightmare watching him in the outfield.
and you're just like, I don't know why you're smiling. He's one of those guys where you're
Yeah.
like, I have no idea why you're smiling. That must have been just that must have been from childhood.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you must have had a great childhood. And I love the fact that you had a great parent, you had a great nuclear family,
Yeah.
and everything's happy. But well, I mean, all you have to do is I mean, and the thing is, like his egregious mistakes were in Tampa, but
Yeah.
it does remind you a little bit of Teoscar, where like Teoscar is more sure-handed than he was, but kind of like trying to be the second guy to every ball. Like if anybody else can make
If
this
anyone
play.
else wants this, I'll back right off. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
if
Yeah.
anybody else can possibly make this play. And then but then you see Teoscar move like on the bases and you're like, "Oh, he's fast. Like he has great speed."
Yeah.
But in the outfield, he would kind of you just saunter over. Even if it bounced first, like there was no urgency. There was no urgency to his defending. And what it usually is guys like they're trying to make it look like this is how you make the play. But it's like they're afraid to make a mistake, so they go to the ball slower. They do everything a little slower because they're
Yeah.
afraid to make an error. And you're like, no, you need urgency. Like you're gonna have to pick up your clock because you need to have some urgency. But they're afraid to play with urgency because they know that's when they make mistakes, when they rush things. Because there was no reason for him to be looking at Jimenez on that play. Like
No.
Jimenez is not even near the ball.
No. And he's
You saw,
running backwards. Like,
yeah,
it's just like,
and
use
you
your
saw
head
the
here,
ball.
man.
You
Yeah.
saw the ball. That's why you're close to it.
Yeah.
That's why you're even in the same, area code as it. Like
And I
so.
mean, as Jays fans, we've seen bad outfielders. You brought up Teoscar. Lourdes Gurriel was always a bit of
Yeah, that's right.
adventurer out
Yeah,
there.
I'm just gonna
But
let my dog out.
yeah, absolutely. But the thing with Teoscar and Lourdes that kind of gave you a little bit of extra leeway is that they hit.
Yeah,
Like when Teoscar was doing this, he was also hitting 30 bombs. So you give a little
yeah.
bit more like leeway to that. But
Well,
Jesus
he
isn't.
was dangerous. Yeah,
Yeah.
whereas Sanchez he's at times had a, and I mean, I think they knew what he was going to be when they
Yeah.
brought him in. Like, here's a guy he could potentially give you some slug, and he's terrible defensively. And no other team was thinking like, yeah, we need a terrible defensive outfielder who could slug. But the Jays were like, give it to us. Give me that potential slug because like you said, the way that we have to win baseball games is the hardest way to win baseball games because six guys need to be running hot.
Yes.
If you're doing it without slugs, six guys need to be running hot, which for the last half of last season, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Even Varsho would kind of get hot.
Yeah.
Jimenez would kind of come up with clutch hits. Like if you have no slug, you need six or seven guys that are running hot. And it's like, how often does that happen? Not too much. So then there's tons of pressure on your starting pitchers. They don't get to just be able to live in the zone and potentially give up some solo home runs and oh well, we still won 7-3. They have to nibble like
Yeah.
they've got every inning is critical for them. Every defensive play is critical. So I don't even necessarily think we were terrible defensively earlier in the season. I just think we were so bad offensively that we couldn't afford any of it.
Yeah. So everyone stood out. Every error
Yeah.
stood out because it
Every
was,
error was like, oh my God. But I think, defensively, yeah, like you said, now we're like right back to top of the list, right?
yeah.
Which is weird because who did we really get rid of it on the position player side? Like
like Varsho, who's supposed to
Varsho.
be, yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And he was still an elite defender. So how did our defense get better when we shed one of our better defenders? Like I don't,
I've
even
kind
this,
of
even
I've kind of felt bad for Varsho because he got traded to Houston, and of course, Arrighetti comes back to the Jays, a Houston native, and they loved that man there. And then Varsho came in, and I think he went like 7 for 64 in his first plate appearances, and everyone's
yeah.
like, "Oh, gross!"
Oh
Like,
God.
yeah,
Yeah, you can find center field defense. Like you feel like I can we can find center field defense. If what is this guy's story? What is he supposed to do?
yeah.
Like he's like a linebacker. Okay, he's built like a linebacker. He makes great. He has great jumps. He takes good routes. He makes most of the plays in center field. But and then when he catches one, it's way gone. But
Hmm.
he doesn't have any constant. Tons of swing and miss. Tons of like there's so much. You know, if you're a pitcher, you're like, okay, so I just got to go a little bit above the zone with a heater, and I got him. Then you're like, it can't be this easy. And then
And
it
when
is.
we
It
as
is that easy.
fans, when we as fans know that like, oh yeah, the high fastball is gonna get Varsho out, everyone knows, right? Like this is like if we just with the eye test are like, that's how you
Yeah.
get them, like yikes.
And it's not just like sometimes you can get him when you go up there. It's like every time you can get him when you go up there. You don't need to
Hmm.
wait for two strikes. You don't need to like set him up for it. You can just go kind of like high fastball, high fastball, high fastball. He's out. Like he's not. Yeah, he was just like to me, he was just an awful hitter. Like absolutely, it's very low baseball IQ when it comes to the hit tool. Like he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah. And it's
Um,
weird to move a guy who really was like a integral part of this team the last few years. It's weird to move him and feel like the team is better.
yeah,
I know that this does have to do with Bateman came in hot. I know that this does have to do with just like the defense is shored up in the last couple weeks, but it is weird to watch like the
yeah.
guy that you're like,
Well, I
they
remember like I
traded
heard,
Gabriel Moreno for him. They traded
yeah,
like I know that it's irrelevant now, but like it was the number one prospect in all of baseball, and they brought in a
yeah.
defensive center fielder that never really worked out.
Well, and I remember like I listened to it was like Josh Donaldson talk about talking to Ross Atkins and Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro kind of admitting like we know how to do the pitching side. We don't really know the hitting side as well.
Yeah.
Like we're not, and you can see it with their trades where like they don't really miss on pitcher
No,
trades,
they really don't. It's
but they
wild.
do miss on hitter
Yes.
trades
Yeah.
because the other team is a little smarter than them on knowing what the ceiling is. And so Arizona knew we don't have to worry about giving up on Varsho because he's never going to fill in these holes.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a black hole. He's not that coachable. He makes a lot of the same mistakes over and over again. We're not that worried about losing Varsho and we have a chance to get Moreno. Like, let's do it. Like, so they do get a little bit outsmarted on the position player side and on the hitter side, especially, but they don't really get outsmarted on the pitcher side.
No, and there's a lot of examples of even just like Spencer Miles. What an incredible Rule 5 pick. Like it's just unreal how
Yeah.
that has worked out. And I mean, you even look at like Shane Bieber and holding on to him and what he's doing right now. Like they do know pitching. So
Yeah.
the
And
last
Didn't Spencer Miles, didn't he like come have an extra 4 miles an hour or something? Like he just came into
yeah,
camp and then all of a sudden he was 97 and it's like, wait a minute, wasn't he 93 before? Like,
yeah,
what?
I know. Just Tommy John coming off of Tommy John, right? It's like so
Yeah.
weird that some of these guys just gain 3, 4 miles an hour on their fastball after
Are you
TJ.
surprised they didn't sort of keep Ricky Tiedemann up and let him go, let him roll a little bit?
I think he's going to be a call up in September. I think they just needed pitching with some length, and he wasn't really built up yet, so it was just easier to have your,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Simeon Woods Richardsons and stuff in the bullpen who can give
And
you a little
Brandon
bit of
Little
length.
has, had a little resurgence, right? He
Yeah,
has been better for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
He's been pretty good.
So this Yankees game this afternoon, I know a lot of you who are watching this, you already know the outcome. it's kind of irrelevant to me. Like I think they've done what they had to do, taking 2 of 3 out of Tampa, and then even if they do lose this series to the Yankees and just with the one win, when I was looking at these 6 games, I was like, if they can take 3 of 6 against the Rays and
Mhm.
the Yankees, they kind of set themselves up for a pretty good opportunity to go on a run here. And listen, so we'll end on this, but I do want your opinion. April, everyone was talking about, oh, this soft schedule, the Blue Jays are gonna tear it apart. And it just didn't happen. And now
Mhm.
we're kind of in a similar situation where you look ahead and you're like, there is not one team they are playing above 500. And they're playing a bunch of teams that they are just neck and neck with here, and like the Guardians and the Rangers. And like they could actually separate themselves to a point where you're like, okay, they actually won 85, 86 games. Maybe this wasn't that horrible and squeak into that third wild card. Where are you at it for the month of September? Do you
I
feel like
mean,
this team can pull it off, especially on the back of just defense and pitching? Because I don't know if I believe in this offense.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think, like you said, I think they did what they needed to do in this stretch where, they're going to go into the final 30 games at worst a game and a half back, like
Yeah,
at worst a game and a half back, which is, that's in realistic striking distance with 30 games left. But yeah, it's interesting, like you said, because in the macro, you sort of like, hey, we're playing 30 games against 30 or against teams that are below 500. But then you get into the series and you're like, oh, Kansas City's won 8 in a row.
yeah,
But wait a minute, the Royals are on a massive heater. And what's going on here? We're supposed to beat them 2 out of 3, and then you're like, wait a minute, this is has the potential to go right back into negative Blue
yeah,
Jay world, where it's like swept by the Royals. How do you expect to be a playoff team
yeah. Oh my
if you
God,
can't get
man.
past the Kansas City Royals? Because they're on I think they've won 7 in a row, right?
Yeah.
So you have no idea what's going to happen with those teams. You have to basically like you just have to find some. Kirk has to stay hot. Vladdy has to find a little bit of it. Springer has to sort of become a grimace and then get a hit.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
and our pitching has been just great, right? I mean, it's just been to
It's the
have
whole
like
reason they're where they are right now.
yeah, it's everything, and it's what Ross and Mark are good at is like putting
Yeah.
together a pretty good staff, a pretty good bullpen, different arm angles, lots of stuff. So
It's
yeah.
gonna be tough for them to get in, but I still, and we talked about this off the top, but nobody's that good in this American League. Like in a series, I think the Blue Jays can grind out a best of 3
Mhm.
in a wild card. I think they can grind out a best of 5 in a division. And
Yeah.
once you get to the ALCS, I mean, we watched what happened last year. Guys are coming out of the bullpen that are just starters. You can really kind
Yeah.
of go with who you want.
Yeah,
And
you can get pretty lean, and then you can go back to the team you were, where 6 or 7 guys are feeling it, and you're just spraying it all over the place and finding holes in the infield. And the announcers are saying, "Well, you see, the Jays are a contact team," and it's like, yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah.
Because like I've been a Jays fan long enough to know like this whole notion of like see the Jays are a contact team. Like a lot of times they're not. A lot of times it's just like, get one guy gets a hit and then everybody else fails.
Kind of a no contact team at points. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
it
you
was
know
just
what?
that one, but it could happen again.
They have put us in a situation where we don't have to say goodbye to baseball quite yet, and it's going to
Yeah.
be a pretty exciting month to wrap up
That's
this
exactly
season.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
If we
it's a
were in the
pretty.
NL and we were,
Yeah,
I
we'd be
think
done.
you'd be 6.5 back and it'd be like, so are the Jays done? They're absolutely done. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
6.5,
absolutely
we're
yeah,
done.
6.5. You're done, but half a game
Yeah.
back right now, and it's the Rangers and the Guardians. I mean, anything can happen. So
And I mean,
that's
I know Yankee fans think their team is the juggernaut that just needs Judge to come back, but
yeah.
I don't even see
I don't
that.
even buy that. So there you
I
go.
don't
Sean
think.
Lecomber, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you, brother, and look
All
forward to
right.
the next time.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me. We'll talk to you soon.